We're back. It's
Well,
so exciting.
yes, we're super excited to have this panel recap. Again, the whole idea behind this idea is that we get to bring together current racers, former racers, and fans alike and talk about one of the most fun things to talk about, which is the Amazing Race.
The Amazing Race. Yes. Yes.
So we're going to get started with Amazing Race Season 38. This is episode 1. And what a crazy, fun cast, right?
It was so much fun. Now, as a Big Brother super fan, I especially liked it. But I know a lot of people are like, who are these people? But it's okay. I know I've never met Enzo. I think everyone else I've met before.
Yeah.
So know all of them very well.
Well, and where did we meet some of them?
Where? What do you
just a couple of days ago, right? So we were in LA for the premiere of season 38, and we got to meet a bunch of people. It was a lot of fun. We were actually there the day earlier for the Survivor premiere, and then Tar followed it up on Thursday. But this cast is truly amazing. I mean, they're poking fun at each other, they're challenging each other, and they're talking a lot of crap. But at the end of the day, it still feels like a family. I think they still
they have so much love. Like, they get it. They get the reality game show that it's a game and they're not holding anything personal. Grudges. I mean, at least at the party, everyone was hugging everyone and everyone. I mean, you watch the first episode, there's lots of people dating lots of different people that are now not together. So you'd think that it would be a little drama, zero drama. They had so much fun.
Yeah. So a lot of fun just to see everybody and talk about the Amazing Race. We had the opportunity to get on live yesterday and talk about a bunch of stuff. For those who maybe don't know anything about this cast, go back and look at our cast reveal. We did a whole live the very first time when they were announced. And there's a lot of other podcasts that have done cast reveals where they talked about their opinions of the cast. This next guest of ours is no stranger to sharing his thoughts about people and the Amazing Race. In fact, his opinion of things is just true. It's like honest. It's like,
okay, hang on there, because his first thing of us, I was like, I don't like this guy, and I didn't like him for a long time until I'm like, oh, that's his spiel. That's who. Okay. Then I kind of backed down.
That's but the way what he said
about us wasn't 100% true, but I let it go.
So before we bring him in, let's just do this little montage for everyone so they can be reminded of just how this guy once graced our stage, the Amazing Race.
That was a great montage. I like that.
Well done. So Justin.
Hey, that was fan made. I love that.
So brilliant. So Justin and Diana, for those who don't know, they were on season 27, right?
Yes, sir.
You were the green team, and you did some pretty amazing stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, sure. See, this is how the producers set me up to make it seem like I'm just some braggadocious guy. Can you tell me about it? Rather than just saying like, "Oh, this guy," and giving the introduction and
There's
making
some
it like
franchise records,
a
right?
nice thing, right? And then now go ahead, brag about yourself, right? So now I'm the jerk. No problem. I don't care. We set a record for most consecutive wins in a row with 4. We
5. I read it was 5 in a
right.
row. Yeah,
You're right. So I say 5, and then we tied the second most wins all time for 7, and we managed to win a lot and have a lot of fun along the way.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the 9th place finish in that first leg,
We
your
would be
overall placement record would just be amazing. It'd be single digits somehow, or no, it is single digits. Like it's like
it'd be
2
1, yeah.
points.
We'd be
Yeah,
in
it
first
would be
place.
1 sub 2.
Yeah, we'd be in
But
first place. Yeah, but right now we're still top 5. But you know, I mean,
Awesome.
the last couple seasons have been a little different because some people are throwing asterisks. I'm not going to put asterisks on it. You know, things are what they are. I mean, you know, whatever. But no,
no one's bitter about the record being maybe being
no. The only
challenged.
thing I'm bitter about is not winning. I mean,
Yeah.
Other than that, records.
Well,
if we
for
would
what
have
it's
won,
worth,
we would have had all the records.
the greatest placement average, most wins, and not to win the final leg. Like,
Great.
not to rub it in.
I'm the Buffalo Bills. I'm the Buffalo Bills, the best team to not win it all. Right?
And I think what I love too about you, Justin, is like you were a super fan. Like you came into this with hard studied rules of how the Amazing Race needs to be run, and you're free to share that with everyone. Anyone who's willing to listen can learn from you, right? If they go on YouTube, Racers Recap, it's been around for a long time. It's
made
like
for super fans and future racers. It's not made for the casual fan. It's made for the people that want the little inside information, the behind the scenes stories, the how do you guys keep winning? Well, you get a minute here, 2 minutes there, and it's like, come on. But it is just that simple. Like being 3 minutes ahead of somebody can change everything because you get on a train that they don't know. There's so many things.
So many technicalities that I think people take for granted, right?
Oh my God, yeah. They don't understand.
You would do it again in a second, yes?
I've said this numerous times. I'd run it every year for the rest of my life there was no prize involved.
Even if you didn't have the prize, you'd still do it. Just the experience.
Yeah. Oh my God. This is how I'm going to spend my summer vacation every year for the rest of my life. Sign me up.
So when you were on the Amazing Race, which country did you not go to that you wanted to go to?
Well,
there's a couple. Yeah. I mean, Japan, we wanted to visit Japan because it's just a whole nother world. It's like Africa when we got to visit Africa, which is kind of just different than any place you'll ever experience. Whereas, you know, when you go to Europe, you could be lost in almost any city in Europe and still not know which city you're in because a lot of them are so similar. But when we went to Zimbabwe, it's just so different. Japan is just so different, the cultures. And so Japan and New Zealand were 2 places that I wanted. Diana, she wanted to visit Italy because that's where she's from. But I'm like, we're going to visit that anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
and you were going to return to the Amazing Race, right?
Yeah, we were supposed to be on the Amazing Race versus Survivor versus Big Brother season, and we got called. We said, yeah, we'll do it, and then they were like, cool. We sent in our passports to be, you know, taken care of. 3 days later, Diana found out she was pregnant. I was like, oh. It's like, yeah, and it's like, you know, we had to wait, like a couple months before. So she couldn't even do it. Like, even if it was like where you're leaving in like a week or 2, then you could do it. But if you're leaving anywhere after that, it's like no way in the world.
Yeah. So bummer that we didn't get to see her again, but hopefully in the near future we'll get another chance to see you guys. But
yeah, if they remember us old folks,
you'll probably still beat me in a foot race, even with your cane.
I can try. I'll be 50 this year.
Yeah.
Well, as a super fan, I mean, if I had the opportunity to be on that starting line on season 40 and I see like OGs like you, I seriously be like, oh shiz, Scott,
what have we done?
Sure? Like, what have we got? Like, it's different when you know, it's a bunch of strangers. You're like, well, I don't know what they're good at. Everyone knows what you're good at. Like, we would be like, oh crap. And I think everybody that would be on that starting line with you on season 40 would just be like, oh, beep, because they know that you're not there to be like, this is going to be fun. You're in it. Like,
are we Are we like work with us scary or you turn us scary?
Both.
Yeah,
100% both.
What is the mindset? I want to work with you. I want to U-turn you.
Oh, I absolutely want to work with you because
Scott
of the
and I
fact
would
that,
work
like,
with you in a heartbeat, but I think the majority of people would be scared of you. You turn scared of you, not work with you, scared of you.
These voting U-turns now are going to kill me. I like, we had 3 U-turns on our season, but nobody beat us to the board all 3 times. So they couldn't U-turn us. But now with this dang vote, I can't stop it. We have no power to stop people from U-turning.
The U-turn vote is brutal.
You guys wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
No, nothing about it. Nothing about it. And it was going to be on season 31. So you sidestepped that one by having a kid. Who knows? But something that fans may not know, you actually so you're in radio, and recently got a new gig, 98.5, right?
Yes, I'm in the Scranton. So all you Dunder Mifflin Office fans, I've been in radio. This will be my 17th, 18th year that I've been in radio. I took a break when the kids were born, so we could be home with the kids and be there for the the most important years of their life, the most formative years of their life. I'm like so scared. It's like, okay, I'll be home. I'll be home. I'll be there. So now that they're old enough, they're 4 and 6, and I want to get back to doing what I love, and it really feels good to do what I love again.
And now you've stepped away from the production role, and now you're more like frontlining. You're the DJ. You're the guy, doing the mic.
Yeah, it's Lissa and Justin in the morning on 98.5 KRZ. Give us a listen. It's 5:30 a.m.
Are you on iHeartMedia, or like how can I listen to you if you're so far away?
If you're on the iHeart app, you can listen on there. You can listen on Odyssey.
Oh, I'm going to totally do that.
Odyssey, iHeart, Tuned In, or KRZ.com.
And something else fans may not know is you had a special gig recently where you actually got to DJ a special. Oh, yes, hold on. There it is.
Taylor Swift's engagement party where I was the DJ, which was awesome. Everything was going great.
You look amazing there. You look so good.
Doesn't look. The photo. I don't think whoever photoshopped it, to get my wrinkles out. I think they did a little too much, but everything else was great.
It looks real. It looks like that could be like legit.
I mean, if somebody ruined it and woke me up, but I will always have that memory.
Right. Exactly.
Nobody can take that memory away from me.
All right. So we're going to bring in our next guest. And this gentleman, we had an opportunity to meet while we were at our finale party in New York. And Justin was there too. It was a lot of fun. We had, all the people, most of the people from season 37, a bunch of the alumni, a bunch of the fans, and one fan that really stood out to us. And then we were stoked to see if we could get him on our show. And it's this guy, Bay Area Fletch. Let's bring in Ray Fletcher to the scene. How you doing, Ray?
Good.
Yeah.
Good to see you all again.
Yeah. Ray. What do you say?
So tell us a little bit, Ray, about your Amazing Ray story. What's been your connection to this show?
I've been watching since season 1. I was somehow able to connect with Joe and Bill back in the day, just online, and I auditioned. I sent in a tape of, I want to say, for season 4 and 5. Didn't get any. And then I didn't audition again until season 31, 32 time frame. And I've been sending in audition videos pretty much every season since. I just love everything about the show. It's my favorite reality TV, obviously.
Yeah.
Smart.
To the point, I try not to be completely obsessive, but sometimes I fail.
Well, and what I loved about it too was like talking to you in New York. There were so many stories like you kept sharing. I'm just like, how has this guy not been on the Amazing Race? Like with your whole dynamic between like the circus performer story and like, holy crap, like there's so much there. And then the military stuff, and then like coming out gay, like with your kids and figuring out how that dynamic was going to be. It's like, I don't know. There's so many levels, like onions, 8 layers to this story. I'm just like, this dude needs to be on the show. Like, this is crazy.
He's the Shrek of the Amazing Race fandom.
Amazing Race.
He's got so many layers.
I'm often concerned that there's too many, and so when I do audition videos, I'm afraid that maybe I'm editing myself too much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, laundry listing all of your incredible achievements.
Well, I've done a lot of things. Yeah. I'm not, I'm kind of jack of all trades, master of none.
Well, and I was interested in the whole connection we had and the fact that during COVID, we were actually in the same choir for us, I guess. And I was alumni for BYU Men's Chorus. They put out this thing where anybody who wanted to sing with them, whether they were alumni, current members, or just loved to sing, could be part of this COVID choir. And we sang "Nearer My God to Thee," and you're in that same YouTube clip as I am. So it's like it was weird to make that connection. So but okay, we've done the intros. Let's get into the meat of what people are here for. They want to talk about episode 1 of The Amazing Race. It gets started in Amsterdam. When was the last time The Amazing Race was in Amsterdam? Does anybody know?
Technically, season 31, they landed in Amsterdam, and then they proceeded to a location outside of it. So they were told to go to Amsterdam in 31, and technically we went to Amsterdam in 27, and they did it again in 28.
Okay, so 27, 28, 31. So it's been a little while since they've been in Amsterdam. So this is interesting. Some people may not know it, but actually season 37 touched down in Amsterdam for a little while. This was us.
I mean, you have the fanny pack on, like right there's the fanny pack.
Did you get lost? Did you get lost and end up in Amsterdam? How'd that happen?
Well, everyone
we got lost in Bali, and just all of a sudden we were in Amsterdam. It was very strange.
Wow.
So, a fun urban story.
Must have loved that.
Yeah. So fun urban story in our season was we got eliminated, for those who don't know, in Leg 5.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. And on our flight home, we went through Amsterdam, and I was very clear with production and asking all the right questions about, like, so as soon as we separate and we're released, we can do anything we want until Finale City. And they're like, yeah, you can. And I'm like, we can travel? And they're like, sure. So they said goodbye. We walked around the corner to the KLM desk and delayed our return flight from Amsterdam to Salt Lake for 1 week and spent that week touring all over Amsterdam. But we're in our backpacks and in our race clothes.
Oh, that's so cool.
I still
had ready to race anyway for another week. So
I had time off from work and we had a babysitter. So like, why, right? Why not?
Yeah.
So, gotta wonder how many of those people running around trying to spoil saw you in Amsterdam and posted up on their Reddit feeds about how.
Oh, we got pictures of them with their fanny pack on still.
Yeah, the race must be in Amsterdam, right? And even Switzerland for a little moment. But so a lot of the fun stuff that we were able to experience while we were there for a week were some of the exact same places the race went during season 38. So this was Volendam. When we went in there, the cheese shop, the flowers, the big wooden shoes, biking around windmills. Yeah. And then we also spent time at the Rijksmuseum and the Van Gogh Museum. So it was super.
Oh, that's cool. What is the Rijksmuseum? Is it just art, regular art?
Yeah,
or is it...
tons of art. Like the Dutch love, again, because a lot of their impressionists and, Renaissance painters and stuff in that region. So lots of their own works to like feature and stuff. But it was pretty cool, pretty epic. But
I think that production was following us on Instagram and was like, hey, that's a great idea.
Like,
we should go back to Amsterdam.
Don't worry, look like they had a lot of fun.
Has nothing to do with Bertram.
Right.
We were the creative minds behind.
Nothing to do with that being the actual
Bertram
first.
Bertram asked us. Hey, go tour, and we'll do what you're telling us.
It was the country that it was created in by, thought of by Elise.
Oh yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, and a lot of people didn't realize or didn't know, but Hoorn, Amsterdam, where they had their start line, was where Big Brother got its start internationally. The first Big Brother house was in Hoorn, Amsterdam. So they didn't talk about it.
Why did they not say that? I thought that was a weird disconnect. You were there.
Yeah, that seems like they obviously did it on purpose to go there. So why not talk about it? Yeah. There's no way it was accidental. It was obviously thought of on purpose. Just a silly thing.
Clearly, CBS doesn't own BB Amsterdam. And so maybe there was something to do with like naming rights and payments not being made. So they had to who knows? But all right, episode 1
could be an edit.
You could. A lot was left on the editing room for it. But episode 1, season 38, Two Worlds Colliding.
It had the weirdest intro I've ever seen, and I don't think it's ever been like that, right? Like you'd probably know better than I would, Justin. Like to start and then like go and do a challenge and then come back to see Phil. I was like, wait, did I miss something? I was so it was
the only thing that was kind of similar was when the team got eliminated at the starting line. But even then, the teams were running away. They didn't stop. Like the whole stopping is just such a weird thing. The last time they did that was, I mean, your guys' season for the U-turn, right? They just stopped everybody in the middle of the.
We walked into the monkey sanctuary and there's Phil. You're like, wait, we're starting the leg. We shouldn't be seeing Phil yet.
I mean, technically it's very similar to 28 where they were all racing from home to get to the start in Mexico City.
Yeah.
Okay. But that was just a gimmick with that season.
Yeah. I like the fact that they had the challenge and that, all right, they got somebody. I would have liked that they if they did what they did on season 27 with the Express Pass and kind of held it to let the Big Brother strategy start playing out when people start trying to work together.
Right.
And I think they saw what they did what happened on our season where it just became like 10 teams against 1. It was like,
whoops. Well, and I love the tease here because there is a certain element, like you were just saying, Justin, where it's like, okay, let's lean into this Big Brother thing. Is there some awkwardness? Is there some pre-gaming? Is there some connections? And how can we poke it from the get-go? How can we disturb
There's
things?
3 sets of exes and people who used to date on the show.
And not running together.
Yeah, and there are 3 people who've been on Challenge. So there's like a whole bunch of different connections. There's people who've been on the same seasons together here. It's like, so there's a lot of connections already before they even got on the show. 3 different winners.
They all know each other, which is something that most seasons don't get at all.
Right. Everybody knows everybody because all the seasons have been close together. It's no OGs, no real old school players involved.
Nothing like season 29 where nobody knows anybody.
Yep.
And yet they were still, required to make a choice right from the start too, just based on looks and how they ran to the luggage store.
Yeah.
Where this time, giving away the extra Express Pass, they kind of know who might be good in the game from the start.
Right.
Yeah. And it's Big Brother, so there's already alliances before the season starts because that's what they do.
Because that's what they do.
Yes.
Any game they ever play. Snake in the grass, challenge, whatever. And
we're sticking together, right? We're sticking together.
They always call each other beforehand and like, oh, you got cash? You like, oh yeah, we're gonna team up. I hate it. Oh, it's the worst.
That's him trying to see already if he can get canceled again for another season.
I don't care. Listen, if I'm the one that gets canceled for telling the truth, my fans deserve the truth.
All right, so real quick before we go past this point, so for recapping for people that maybe aren't familiar, the first person to complete it gets the Express Pass, and that was who?
Taylor
and Kyler.
Yep. And then the last people to complete it, so it's not done at that point. Everyone still has to complete it. The last people to finish it, we're going to end up with what?
Hazard.
Yeah. And so hazard, very similar to like what a road bump is or speed bump. If somebody comes in at the end of a challenge in last place, it is a non-elimination leg. There's an extra task they're going to have to do at the next leg. And a hazard in that situation, same concept, but you're starting the leg with it. So Enzo and Jack,
there's a punishment associated with the hazard as well that continues along with them, which is they had to use a different bike as well. So it was a speed bump that they had to eat the fish, like a punishment that they had to use it. So that's like the defining difference between a speed bump and the hazard is that extra task along with having a detriment for the next,
the hazard.
Yeah, you guys know all about that.
We struggled. We wish we didn't have that. That monkey on our back.
Having a detriment to start a leg. And then,
Yep. So we get to the starting line now, which is again crazy because a bunch of fans were commenting. They're like, wait, I tuned in. I'm already seeing teams in 3rd place and 5th place, and there was like no start. Like, did my episode record late? Was there something that messed things up? But the reality was that's just how things started. They arrived at the start line now, a post-challenge. And at that point, that's when Phil informs them that I don't just have one express pass to give out today. I got 2, and we're going to let that be a vote. But not a vote by everybody, a vote by Taylor
just
and
the winner.
Ireland, right?
Which I thought this was interesting because when we filmed our start line, like we were there for like 3 hours. So it's so trippy that they do a challenge and then I know that they all have to stand there and wait and get every angle and redo, and then on your mark, get set, go. Which I'm like, in the middle of the day or maybe morning, they're well, it has to be in the middle of the day because that's the flowers, it got dark. But I'm like, filming wise, that doesn't seem strategic to me. Again, it was just so weird. I didn't know if I like that or not.
They got to the finish line around midnight, by the way.
So I think that's why Phil looks so
haggard. Yeah, I noticed.
You could hear it in his voice.
How early they were, and they got, and the finish line was around midnight. They left the flower. The last challenger 11 something. You could see it on the clock right behind them. If you look at the clock, it was like 11:07 when they got.
What time they started, or what time they finished this with Phil?
So I know what I didn't like. I didn't do my rewatch yet. I was trying to watch it as a fan and just enjoy it. I looked at the clock and I was like, oh my god! When they finished, it was past 11 o'clock. You could see the clock behind them when they got the clue, and that's before they got into the cab to try to get to Phil. So it was between
Right, and Volendam, I think, is a good 30 minutes still from Amsterdam, so they had a ways to go still. So that makes sense. Close to midnight.
Right around midnight.
But at least, not jumping ahead or anything, but at least they got cabs at the end there.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't a self-drive to the end. Otherwise, Phil would have been there till 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Or riding bikes in the dark. That could have been interesting.
The way they have paths there, you don't get hit by cars. They have their own paths, so they're good.
Yeah.
They're biking everywhere there. Yeah. So from that point, they run to self-drive themselves from Horn. They're going to Volendam. And Volendam was the port area where they had to get the bikes and the tandem bikes that they're going to ride all the way to Edam Cheese Market. And this is going to be their augmented roadblock, right? They've got to do a challenge.
When we were there and we rode bikes, our bikes were electric, but it was still, and it's still pretty flat, but it was still like, it's broad. It is like everything's kind of spread out. So even though we had electric bike, I mean, we were on them for like 5 or 6 hours. Like we did this whole tour. It was still kind of tiring. There's not a lot of hills, but just to kind of help you figure, I mean, maybe you already knew that, but it's interesting about their bikes. Like they were working it really hard on their legs, especially poor Enzo with that stupid shoe bike. Like, oh my gosh, that poor guy, like that was just horrid for him to try to ride that. I mean, even it's flat, it was still very, very difficult.
Enzo's the definition of good genetics and gym muscles. He looks like he's in great shape, but he's just in the worst shape ever. Like he's in terrible. Like you look at him, he's got these broad shoulders, naturally broad shoulders. Lean. He looks like he's in great shape. In his 40s. I'm like, look at him. He's in good. And the dude is always the worst and stuff. You watch the challenge, he's like, he's like, just riding a damn bicycle. Come on, man. You got Izzy doing the damn thing like a champ, and you're over here.
Yeah, Izzy was.
Don't judge somebody by how they look, because you look at her and then look at Izzy. You're like, Izzy's not, and she beasted it. Meanwhile, this guy's like, oh, I'm in great shape. Get out of here.
But he did do the classic brother move, though, right? When they got there and he just dumped him.
Dumped him out.
Just dumped him.
When I was grabbing still shots of the
classic
video,
brother move.
I have to have that in the picture. So the hazard, they've got to eat the herring. They've got to do it one each. This would have been a challenge for Lori and I, because if there's one thing on the Amazing Race that Lori was not excited about, it was eating
food.
Diana too.
No. I don't eat weird food.
Even though
I can eat anything.
Yeah, one clue said gorge, and I knew that would gorge was where they did the rope swing from the season whatever before. But she was like, just in case it's food, I don't want to do it. And I'm like, you sure it's gonna be easy? All right, you do it. I'm like, all right, let's go.
No,
Oh my gosh. I know. Now it's also interesting. I heard from Adam has diabetes, and during it's always interesting what they film or what they show in the production. But during this bike ride, he had a full-on attack. They had to pull over.
His blood sugars were too low.
There was this huge thing that happened. He had to take Medicaid. Like, it was crazy. And I'm like, they didn't even show anything that he even struggled with that, but it was a really big issue for him and his brother.
Yeah, Joseph was super appreciative because one of the bystanders that was nearby in Amsterdam or in Volendam was a diabetic and happened to have some sugar tablets on her. So like fortunes aligned as far as, you know, what they needed emergently in that situation. So, but yeah, so they got a tandem bike, and that was a lot of fun to watch people trying to
Angela crashing.
Yeah, it shows the culture of the city. It's fun to watch. It's like I got a race element to it. And it's awkward enough where grown people will struggle doing something that little kids can do, which is like ride a bike, right? So it looks
exactly. So they get all the way to Edam Cheese Market. They realize they've got to retrieve the cheese from the people that are throwing it from the boats on shore, stack it on their sled. Reminiscent of any challenges that you can think of?
Yeah.
There's a watermelons.
And the coconuts challenge in
our season.
From your season,
and the coconuts challenge from the season where they fell into the water constantly.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Because they were throwing them onto the boats, off and on boats, just like this guy. Like,
yeah. They definitely love the Edam cheese because this has got to be, I want to say, the third season. The last two were they had to pole vault for them.
Oh yes. Maybe? The eggs and the cheese, they had to hold. Yep, I remember
the tourism board of Edam is working hard to make sure.
Exactly.
Hey, I love product placement.
Yeah. I feel like for us, because again, we had the opportunity to like eat these cheeses and like experience them. Like they had these really hard orange like rinds on them, right? But there's definitely a flat side to it. And if you're not paying attention, you don't realize that's an advantage. And so if you watch Jag and Jazz as they're tackling the challenge versus how Tucker and Eric are tackling it, it's a very, very different system, you know. And if you utilize the stacking with the flat side, there's some advantage in maybe having a better pyramid than others. So
yeah, Jag and Jazz have the speed, agility, and smarts, whereas Eric and Tucker have more of a they have strength. They have a different type of smarts, but they have charisma. They have the most charismatic team in the race. I don't think that there are any problem if they have any challenge where they need to work with the locals. I think they're going to excel.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I heard that if you're playing the drinking game at home of the Amazing Race season 38, the argument is every time you hear "Let's go," you have to take a shot. And Tucker has got people drunk 30 minutes into the season.
Yeah, because he says it when he's excited. He says it when something happens. Yeah. Let's go.
All right. So they finish this challenge. They get to the big cheese. That judge gives them the big thumbs up to say they're good to go. They can go on. They're traveling now. Sorry, skipping that. That's a hazard. They've got to go to Vanderwilt Gerberes. Who's feeling fresh as a daisy? That's the roadblock.
I thought it was interesting that it was Gerber daisies when I feel like Amsterdam is known for tulips. So is it because the tulip stem is softer and it wouldn't have held up in this
challenge? They've done tulips like 7 times already. That's
okay.
Why.
So then
but I was on our season, tulips on the season 30. Yeah, they've done tulips a lot. So I think
also the Gerbers have so much more variation.
Yeah.
Where the tulips.
They look close enough. Like there's just like a bigger leaf in the middle where everything's the same color. It was
the
just
shade of the stamen, all that. It's just.
So you pull up to this challenge, Justin, with Diana. Who's doing this one?
Diana.
Same.
Attention to detail. That's her thing. I see things from a wide angle. She sees things close up, and that's just on any problem that we have.
Yeah.
She always sees like this. She's focused on it, and I'm like.
Distracted. You're the dog on everything. That's like distracted.
I see everything.
Did you ever have an issue when she was doing a challenge and maybe she wasn't doing it correctly or fast enough or whatever it was, and you want to say something, and you're allowed to be like, cheer them on, but you can't be like, turn it to the left. You're like, you can't give out clues. Did you find yourself like
struggling
to shout stuff? Like, was that hard for you?
But I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something that happened on the first real one in Argentina, the roadblock, when I'm doing the meat challenge and I'm struggling. James Earl and Denise screamed out something to James Earl and got a penalty. They got a 45-minute penalty because of it.
Oh, wow.
She said, check, check the backs or something like that. Check the backs or racks or something to him. And like
45
minutes. And then he got it right after that. And then it was like at the end, I don't know if they show it on the season, but he got a 45-minute penalty. It didn't really affect the placement that much.
But they waited to assess that penalty at the
finish line.
Yeah, they gave it to him at the finish line. Yeah,
so be careful. You don't know.
Since that happened early, like everybody was on this. Was paying
so
attention.
it kind of helped you. Okay.
So it was like, as much as you want to scream and say like, whatever, I would scream, get off the walls, something like that. Just because she was swimming, and that's what Krista kept doing. She was hanging on the walls. I knew that was the problem. So like, get off the walls. And I'm like, that was the closest that I got.
Okay.
Which was like telling her what to do. But that's like, I don't know if that was.
Oh, and maybe it's worth mentioning here. I should have said it earlier with the previous challenge. There was another team that struggled for a minute because they realized they might have violated a rule and they caught themselves. What was it?
That's kind of dumb. That you can tell they haven't watched The Amazing Race.
Why? Why do you say that?
How many times have people run to the finish line in full outfits? Almost every season. No, they're not going to. They're not going to penalize you for running in a silly outfit. They love that stuff. They'll penalize you if you steal something that you shouldn't.
But it says it on the clue.
It said it on the clue.
Your entire costume
must
behind.
Leave your costume. So on our season,
this clue said that.
Yes, it did.
Our clue said must leave your costume there.
On our season,
well, that changes everything.
Yeah, when we're running to the finish line in garb, it's because the additional information said you must wear the headdress to the finish line in Hong Kong, or you must wear such and such.
I don't remember any of it saying that stuff, and we just kept like the headbands in Africa. I don't remember any of that. I don't remember seeing any of that on our season. So maybe it changed because everybody on our season kept stealing all the African garb that we were wearing. Everybody has that, the Indian stuff from India. We all have that stuff.
Well, and
it was confusing because she uses the handkerchief in the car to wipe away her tears.
She's crying.
She's crying about
crying.
But Kat and Alex, just so people know who we're talking about, Kat had the handkerchief still around her neck from the cheese challenge, forgot to take it off. They get all the way back on the tandem bike to Volendam Port when she realizes it's there. Fortunately, they've now got a car, so they can return it a little bit easier.
It would have been interesting if she didn't realize that and got there. Like, would the handkerchief or whatever it was, like, would have that been a penalty or not? Because it wasn't like the full costume. It was a dumb little side thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's
it's like Amy actually in her finale was still in her gear from the stunt.
Yeah.
Right. And she was running away from the stunt and had to go all the way back to get changed. And the thing here,
it's cost $1. It's a handkerchief. It's not like a $500.
But I think it would have been interesting if she'd figured it out during the bike ride.
Yeah.
And they decided to turn around using the bike, riding back on the bike. Yeah. And then, so it would have taken longer than what they ended up doing, which is let's just dump the bike, get in the car, and we can drive back there faster than we would be biking back there.
Yeah.
And what if like she put a shirt on or like a sweatshirt on and no one could see it, and she didn't even know. Attention. They're not going through the items to make sure.
No.
Like, she could have gotten away.
Production's paying attention. They're watching that stuff.
Are they watching that though? Oh.
I think so.
Well, I guarantee as soon as she mentions it in the car,
right?
As soon as she pulls it out to wipe her tears, they're like, "Oh,
yeah."
They have no choice but to do something once they.
He's texting. He's texting the finish line at that moment, going, "They're doing this. Just heads up, they're doing it."
My kudos goes out to Alex though, because he wanted to read the additional notes to make sure that truly was said the way Kat was saying it. And I think that's important when you have a partner who's emotionally breaking down for a moment because they think they've messed up. let's regroup, let's ground ourselves, let's see, is this really something that we need to like detour for, or is this something that we can just say like, no, babe, you're freaking out for no reason?
As somebody who's been in lots of relationships, the best thing you could say to a person who, when they're struggling, is to calm down.
It always works. It makes the situation better.
Yeah.
All right. So
sounds like the secret of life.
Yeah. Now we're to the daisies.
Secret of death.
I thought it was hilarious that Jazz figured out how to make Eric be his errand boy. Like, why don't you go get some flowers for both of us at that one way over there?
But that's crazy. That's two teams fighting for first place, helping each other on the last task of the day. It's like I've never seen anything like that before. I'm like, these two teams, and they're both just such genuine good guys. Like all four of them are just the happiest, always in a good mood, never see them upset kind of guys.
Yeah. Well, and it benefited both of them. I mean, it wasn't just that he got to run further. Jag showed him the other flowers. So it really helped both of them. But yes, shocking it was at the very end. And it's just, it could be first or second place. Like this.
Yeah. You don't help when you're fighting for first, and you don't help when you're fighting for last. In the middle, do what you want because you're in the middle. You know, whatever. We're just gonna be in the middle, flipping places.
Yeah.
So they get it. They're running to the final mat pit stop. It's in the museum square in between the Van Gogh Museum and the Rijksmuseum. And Jazz and Jag have the advantage in this foot race. And I'm going to let Justin tell us why we think Jazz and Jag won this foot race.
Right. So when they're in the cars or whatever, or taxis waiting to get there, they're like, oh man, foot race. And they're thinking like they don't have the chance. But what they don't remember is that they listen to the race's recap and they bring one backpack. And when you're running in a foot race to the finish line, you act like, oh, it's just 15, 20 pounds. What's the difference? But it's the difference between first place and second place. Just ask these boys right here. Even though one of them is a marathon runner and the other one is like a consistent weightlifter and they both eat well, they got smoked by Jazz and Jag.
Yeah. So this is your answer. All the fans out there watching who are trying to figure out how are you going to get a leg up in your preparations. You got to watch Racer's Recap because you would have known one bagging it is going to make a big difference when it comes to the amazing race. And this was a great example. So Jazz and Jag, they won $5,000, $2,500 a piece. Coincidentally, that's the same amount Lori and I won on leg 3 of our season. So I don't know.
Money's the best prize.
It is, right? So super fun. A lot of good stuff. I love this kind of stuff. I don't know if you guys are into these things, but these are some extra stats built around the amazing race. I pulled these from some different people online, like Medium Eggplant 4547 on Reddit was doing a confessional count. And he specifically says these are times when they're talking, not in taxis. He doesn't count those, like when they're talking, answering questions around things. It just gives you an idea of who's making the edit.
What is more to
well, that's not the time. So the middle thing is actually what's called an Edgic. And in people that are playing games, there's a way that you can grade behavior in an episode based on how their performance comes across on screen. So CP stands for complex personality. UTR is under the radar. MOR is middle of the road. OTT is over the top. And then the middle part is.
I wonder which one we were.
No. So they have them for all the seasons. So you can go back and look for these Edgics, and they're pretty interesting. So you can have a positive Edgic, which would be a P before the number, a negative Edgic, which would be an N. If it's medium, they don't usually throw that in necessarily. And then number 4 is your visibility on screen, how much screen time you are getting. So these are certainly very interesting. And this is one person's opinion. This was Valor on TarHub, his perception, kind of how it went. But if you agree with any of this, it's kind of fun to comment about. But typically the ones that are the thinkers get a CP rating. The people that are a little too much get an OTT. And I always like to say you can't spell Scott without the OTP.
Yes, he is over the top.
Being over the top
100%.
kind of a personality. And then the middle of the road UTRs are the ones that usually do really well in social gameplay, like the ones that win Survivor. So just kind of interesting there. And then the last thing is this placements graphic. This was how everyone finished during this episode. And this will average out each additional episode. We're going to have new rankings, but Reality TV Fan did this graphic that he threw out there. So I don't know, lots of fun, but let's talk a little bit about what might be on this horizon for us next week. So episode 2
I don't like it.
Mom's Gonna Have the Willies, and you can find on Paramount Press, they've got information about the storyline, about the information about what the episode's going to entail. So they say Mama's Gonna Have the Willies. Teams depart for Prague, Czech Republic, where they encounter a roadblock requiring them to walk across a narrow plank hundreds of feet above ground at the city's tallest landmark, the Zykov television tower, to retrieve their next clue. I don't know. Who's doing this roadblock, Justin?
Well, Diana's fear of heights, but I don't know if this is one of the things that she'd be like, I want to get over my fear, or if she's like, hell no, I'm not doing. But it seemed like on our season, all the heights ones, she was like, I just want to get over my fear. So I always let her pick unless I know for sure that one is better than the other. Yeah, so she would definitely. She took this one. She would probably take.
I will say that, and we won't know this going in, because you've got to, whatever the roadblock clue is, whatever the phrase is, you've got to make a decision based on just that information you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I did think on another screenshot I saw, it seemed like the clue was down, and they might have to do some kind of a manipulation at the end of the plank to pull the clue up to then retrieve. So it's not a simple walk out to the end and grab, turn around, and walk back. You may have to do something while you're out there at that height.
The press pictures, if you look at the press pictures, you can see that it is. They have to kind of like
do a pulley system or something.
Pulley system it up. You can
see.
Okay.
It's not the Tyler jumping and trying to grab it. When it's obviously not set
like
for
Will
short
James
people.
In New Orleans, where they had to do the jump and try to grab it, and if they miss, they got to go back. It's not that kind of a challenge. It doesn't seem like, but I don't know, Lori, who's doing this? If it's us,
I am not doing this challenge. You literally would be skipping down the thing, and you'd be like, "Yeah, this is awesome!" And I would be like, I couldn't even watch it. I'd be so scared. I would be like, "Oh my gosh." If I had to do it, like if it was like at the end where you have to have the correct amount, or I didn't see that it was this challenge, I would have to have my eyes closed. And everyone's like, "Are you kidding me?" I would literally have to I couldn't even see, or I would be shaking so bad I wouldn't be able to finish it. But that is, I don't like stuff like that.
Apparently it's enough to give somebody the willies. And an episode title. But
and in the other press photos, they got to do something with colored glasses.
It seems like
chalices
or something like that are carried inside of some kind of like a tray.
Yeah, they got to get it. They got to get a certain amount and carry them somewhere. There's a restaurant type of challenge
or something.
There's an attention to detail challenge about something to do with
shields,
crests, like shields.
Yeah.
And I see a couple people holding their ears while they're looking at something. So I don't know why they're holding their ears. So I don't know if it's singing or have to memorize something, but
maybe.
Maybe
they're trying to memorize something while
memorization
by something else. Maybe.
Yeah. So something like that.
Deal with the audio overload or what?
Or memorizing the sandwich ingredients again.
Oh.
Remember
something specific to Prague. Maybe, right?
Yeah.
We always try to do something cultural. But question for you, Justin.
Bring it.
Are you trying to stack roadblocks early on a weaker teammate? Like strategy-wise, if we're going with Racers Recap rules, what's the strategy here in Leg 2?
It all depends on when you get there. Okay. So if you get there in the lead, so that's what we did with Diana. We were in the lead. It was a dancing challenge. I was a professional dancer. Clearly, that's my talents to do. But because we were in the lead and she wanted to get the roadblock out of the way instead of worrying, she went and did it, nailed it, got out of there at first, gave her a boost of confidence, which led to us winning the leg. As like her confidence level, when it changed, that's when everything changed. So it could be a big deal to get the confidence level of somebody who thinks they're the weaker partner out of the way early.
So if you're coming into that at the end and you're trying to survive,
then you don't put that stress on them. You do it.
You don't care about a balance or a lead and roadblocks.
Then it's stay alive.
That's right.
Stay alive. There's nothing to think about. What are we thinking about? We're thinking about staying alive. And what's the best way to stay alive? You put your ace hitter in, just go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So much fun. I can't wait to see what we're going to see happen in this whole season. I honestly, I know I hear a lot of fans kind of bagging the whole Big Brother thing because they're like, we want to see new faces. I think with the loved ones, we're getting to see that. We're not even getting to see the same Big Brother people because they're not in a house. They're now out in the world.
The only people who say that are people who think that these Big Brother people are taking their spot on the Amazing Race.
That's true.
They're not. You're not.
They're not.
No matter what you were going to do, you were never going to be on this season. Nothing that you were going to do was ever
they might still make it. Dude,
you know what I mean?
The brakes a little bit.
I meant just for this season, like the casting of this season is what it is. They didn't take your spot. You were never going to get it. Like,
exactly.
That was not it. Right? So it's the same thing. It's like they're incredible people, and it's like, oh, they're professionals. They're not professionals because they were they were lived in a damn house for 90 days. They didn't do anything professional. There was a bunch of people at a frat house or a summer camp that lasted for 90 days.
You get the same experience as a Boy Scout camp. As a fan, I only thought that one season, and that was, I think, when my ex-wife and I put in our first audition, and we really played up our circus past because we met in the circus. That was everything, and then we tune in. And they have the Ringling clowns on there.
Oh.
And we just sat there going, well, of course they're not going to go with us. They went with the pros.
What else are you guys excited about with this upcoming season? I mean, I love to see some twists. Didn't shy away from the fact that this is just a European adventure. I mean, initially, I get cast on a season of The Amazing Race, and I'm thinking I'm racing around the world, and I found out it's just Europe. I'm feeling gypped. But I love where they're going with this. What are you guys excited about?
Excited about all the train rides, excited about self-drives, excited about them keeping everybody in close quarters with each other, kind of in confined areas doing this type of thing rather than separating people by too much so they can get that Big Brother drama. But what I don't like is they cast people who are exes that are still have a great relationship with their ex. Taylor's not going to fight with Joseph. That's not going to happen. Kylan's not going to fight with Hannah. That's not going to happen. And obviously, what's his name? Tucker and Rabina. They're not going to have arguments with each other. There's a lot of, you would expect a lot of drama from Big Brothers, but because of how great the relationships are with the casting, there's not going to be a lot of that drama. The thing that you are going to see, though, which I think is going to stand out, is that there's clearly strong teams, clearly weak teams, and then there's a couple teams that you like, maybe two teams that you're like, they could be weak or strong, but everybody else, I think you can kind of get an idea of who the weak teams and who the strong teams are, and who's going to be there at the end.
Yeah.
But I think because they know each other, even though boyfriends and girlfriends are exes, I still feel like there might be a layer of drama that normally wouldn't be on the show because, if they did a U-turn, a double U-turn in front of everybody or something where they were including everybody and be like, well, why didn't you choose me? I thought we were friends. I feel like there might be more drama because everyone knows each other and they all get along so well. But wait, why'd you choose Jag and Jazz to have that extra express pass? Why didn't you choose it? Maybe that will come up. I don't know. I don't think the drama between exes at all will come up, but because they're friends, I think that might open the door to some drama.
Jag stays out of the drama. People, they love creating drama around him, but he's not someone who spreads drama. Well, Tucker is wild. He likes to play into the who he is, that smiley guy.
The jester. He's like the tomfoolery.
He's just gonna joke around all the time, and because he's so charming, he gets away with it.
For me, just the fact that it's my favorite show. I'm actually a little bummed that they only gave one overlap Big Brother night. Right, the premiere was supposed to be enough to hook Big Brother viewers in.
Mhm.
And I don't know that they're going to catch enough of them with just one night. It would have been nice if they maybe had done a second night, like after the finale on Sunday, to do 2 nights in a row, basically to really reel those fans in. Because say what you like, and I know Justin loves the Big Brother fans. They
No,
they
sorry,
are
not at all.
once you get them into it, they stay.
Yeah.
They also create a lot of drama online, and they create a lot of craziness.
And they'll be outside your window looking in because they like to watch people sleep.
They like to tune in for 24/7 live feeds.
Yeah,
there's no live feed. People like come to your window.
But I know people like Will and James are going to be stoked because finally there's going to be alliances here that will make theirs look like a tame alliance.
Not a chance.
Big Brother is going to put together some sort of, give it a name by the second show.
Nope.
We'll
not a chance. Not a chance. There'll never be a Mine 5 again. Never.
We did talk to, and I won't say who, we did talk to one of the producers. They knew that these dates overlapped and were like, maybe we should do a Big Brother season because they were looking that far ahead of the schedule, and they saw that the Big Brother and Survivor and then Big Brother Amazing Race and Big Brother, that kind of a thing was going on. And they decided then to do a Big Brother season. And so that's probably why it wouldn't have worked out with the dates of having another date, you were saying, right?
Yeah.
Because that was already planned over a year ago, a year before they even decided what kind of a season it was going to be. But
my thing is, I'm an abundance mentality kind of person. Like, I love the fact that we're getting people tuning into The Amazing Race for the first time ever that never would have watched the show, and it's because of Big Brother. And if those are people that are now coming in and watching this season, and now they want to go back and look at, well, what does last season look like? They're going to watch ours now, or they're going to look back and be like, hey, I heard there's a record, that was gotten in 27. Like, let me go back all the way there, whatever. Like,
or watch Rachel. Rachel was on.
They clearly say Rachel. Go watch the season. Go watch
the one thing we didn't touch on, because they will consider it a conspiracy. One thing we didn't touch on in this recap that you all touched on in your live previously was the closing of the roof. And how that was unfair to the people who came after. But it's, it's kind of, it's like golf. You play the lie, however the ball hits, that's how you're playing it. And if you show up after the set time that roof closes, then you get your headlamp.
Yeah, I love that. That's like a way to give the teams who showed up early a slight advantage, other than just showing up. I like.
And did you see some of those headlamps?
Yeah,
there's one that's got to be an $800 headlamp.
Well, me and Diana both brought headlamps, so we would have had ours on the whole time. Yeah. Obviously, we would have had ours, and we'd have took the one they gave us and ours, and we would have been rocking it.
Yeah, and our big thing was I had 2 because I wanted one to use in the car just in case I needed to, but also one with fresh batteries for challenges because I never knew how the situation was going to work out. But
hey, anyways. don't tell Justin our secrets. I just kidding.
Yeah, I will say again, during that week that we were navigating our little Amazing Race augment, going around Switzerland and Amsterdam. The public transit system is a freaking nightmare, and train schedules don't run on schedules. Buses don't do what you think they're going to do. People aren't necessarily that helpful, and I think it's going to be a lot of drama and a lot of fun, and it's going to make for a great season. So I can't wait to tune in. But guys, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to do this recap with us. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you guys will tune in. Justin's going to have a live tomorrow evening or a Sunday evening, and you're going to get a chance to really get a Racers recap perspective on this episode. I don't know. I think he's not going to pull any punches. I think it's going to be.
Well, listen, the problem with Europe is they're not going to have any problems with language barriers anywhere because everybody in Europe speaks English.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I hate about the Europe thing. Is that unless they can get them to some village in some, maybe Romania where they only speak Romanian, I don't know, like, something like that. But everybody seems in Europe is smarter than the United States. They speak 2 languages. Like,
well, I will say during season 37, they said Sofia, Bulgaria was challenging. Like that is an area. I'm not saying they're going to go back to Bulgaria, but there are some
maybe Greece.
areas.
Yeah, the signs look so crazy.
We'll see. We'll see.
That's not English. What is that?
Yeah. Well, we love you guys. Thanks for taking time. And we invite you guys to come back with us next week. We'll have our live, like I always say, that next morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time after the episode airs. We're going to do our live Q&A. That's our hot takes. And then following that, we'll do our panel recap. Hopefully we'll have more racers, more fans, and just more fun. So
thanks for having me.
You guys. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Later.